Hi there, it's Patty Bennett again with PattyStamps.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I am going to show you how I made this really lovely, quick and easy butterfly card. Have you seen the new spring catalog from Stampin' Up? It's beautiful. The products and the samples are amazing. You're going to find this new butterfly stamp called Swallowtail on page 18, and it's large. It covers the whole card and then some, so it's kind of considered a background stamp for me, and it is big. I purchased the clear mount butterfly stamp, so it is on the largest clear mount block, but you could also get it in wood if you prefer, so totally up to you. And what I did to start this card was, you can see that I've actually got it stamped on designer paper. It's not just on plain cardstock, and I thought it would give kind of a pretty look for peeking through the stamped image there if it had some different patterns on it. So I tried it on two different patterns, and the one that I liked better was this one, and it's from this new Simply Scrappin kit from Stampin' Up. And this is the pattern. It has the little leaves on it, and then it has cute flowers and lots of fun patterned papers in there as well. So I started by cutting myself a piece of this designer paper because it comes 8 by 8, so you'll need to have it a little bit smaller. And I love the new cutter. Don't know if you guys have used it much, but oh my gosh, it is amazing. So I'm going to notice that my pattern is going this way, so I want my card to be cut in this direction. And I'm going to mat it on cardstock. So I will cut it at 5 1/4 and then turn it around and cut it at 4, and that's going to give me two 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces to stamp on and mount to my folded card. The color palette I'm using is Calypso Coral, Riding Hood Red, and Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stamp the butterfly in Riding Hood Red. Now, I know some people with the big background stamps, they prefer to take the pad and do this. I'm just pretty comfortable doing it this way, so that's what I do. And I just tap it on there like this to get it nice and inked. And then when you've got such a large stamp, before you stamp it, you just want to turn it over and look and make sure that you got everything inked. And this is larger than that card front, so you kind of have to pick and choose where you'd like to stamp it. And I put it at an angle, so part of it will be going off the upper right and part of it will be going off the lower left. And then there you have the butterfly on the printed paper. But you'll notice that I did a little extra work on there to color it in, but it's super easy. Let me show you what I did. I used the 3 colors that I showed you before, Riding Hood Red, Calypso Coral, and Daffodil Delight, and I used sponge daubers, 1 for each color, and then I just started dabbing in to start coloring. And since I'm kind of one of those matchy-matchy people, of course my butterfly had to be symmetrical on both left and right sides. A little Calypso Coral, and I just kept building up as much of this as I wanted to. There's no real magic to this or no rule. You can just sponge as much as you want, and you can see I'm kind of dabbing up and down to get the color on first, and then you could rub if you want it even a little darker, but I kind of liked it a little bit more subtle. So there you can see how that's starting to fill in, and then this is what the finished butterfly looked like with all the different parts sponged with those 3 colors. One thing I did want to mention is people ask me often about my sponge daubers. Do I have 1 for every color? And yes, I do. What I like to do is I like to use the Stampin' Up! Gold and silver markers, and I write on them. Sometimes it's not the full name, like Daffodil is just Daff, but I put something on there to remind me of what the name is, and then I just use it in that color. The last thing I wanted to show you on this completed card is the soda pop top, and that is a fun new addition in the spring catalog as well. It comes in a container and there are 8 large and 8 small soda pop tops. This is the smaller one. And I learned a great tip from Demonstrator Jan Wakeland. She had this information on her blog. In order to flatten them out, you can see that they come with, it's kind of like a little miniature cup. Looks like a little teeny Reese's peanut butter cup. But in order to flatten it, you can run it through the Big Shot. And you just want to place it with the pointy sharp side down onto cardboard or chipboard, and then make your sandwich as you would with the platform, the clear plate, and then a clear plate on top. And you run it through the Big Shot and it flattens it. So let me show you the difference side by side there, if you can see that. So the one on the left is the way it comes in the package, and then the one on the right has been run through the Big Shot and flattened. And this way it's much easier to send through the mail. So you can use your 1/2-inch circle punch for the smaller one or the 1-inch circle punch for the larger one, and then add it with a glue dot. Now you might want to experiment with your Big Shot, because for the larger soda pop tops, I only had to use 1 little sheet of the chipboard, and this is from the back of each pack of designer paper from Stampin' Up. I just cut a piece that roughly matches the size of the multi-purpose platform for the Big Shot. So I only needed 1 sheet, but for the smaller ones, it wasn't quite flattening them out as much, so I added a second piece of that chipboard or cardboard into my sandwich, and then it flattened it. So you may need to experiment just a little bit with your machine and your soda pop tops, since they all have a little bit of different amount of tension in them. So there's your quick Swallowtail sponging lesson and bottle cap top tutorial for you. Thanks, Jan, for sharing that with us, and I hope you've all enjoyed this. Have a great day.